Hey, thanks so much for joining us. So we're just coming out of September 2022. That was a 6 universal month, which meant there was probably a little bit of domestic drama going on in your life. I'm pleased to tell you that we're going to be moving into October of 2022. That's going to be bringing in the 7 vibration. This is a time for you to have your time out that you so deserve. Stay tuned as myself and spiritual life coach Susan Saucier, myself and Perry Numerologist, we're going to be talking about what is October 2022 going to bring to you personally. Hey, welcome back. Hey, Susan, how are you?
I'm great, Ann. How are you?
I'm doing great. I've been looking forward to this.
Same
This
here.
is, yeah, this is gonna be a big month. This is gonna be a real big month after last.
Ready? I'm ready. I'm
Yeah,
ready.
yeah, you and me both, sister. We're in a 6 universal year, of course. 2022 is a 6 universal year that has that big responsibility component. What is my responsibility? What is not my responsibility? When should I jump in? When should I step back? And it doesn't matter what personal year you're in, you guys are all under that umbrella, right? Of this influence of the 6. And to add insult to injury, of course, September has been a 6 universal month. So many of us have felt really stressed out, torn in 16 different directions, trying to figure out, if I'm here, that's great. I'm here for my family. It's all great. And I'm helping out and this is great. And I feel responsible. But then, oh my God, my work is calling me. So I got to go there. And this is great. I'm helping out at work, but my family's calling me. And it's like everybody wanted a piece of us in September. Caused us to feel a little stretched thin. I'm not sure if you can agree with me on that one or not, but I felt really stretched. So anyway, moving forward, we are going into October. Now, October is the 10th month of the year. So we're going to add 1 plus 0 equals 1. Add that to the universal year of 6, and we have a 7. So the influence now coming up in October of 2022, the global influence is going to be that of introspection and reflection, pausing. Basically, what we're all going to be doing is hitting that little pause button on our lives and go back off. Like we're kind of going, everybody, get away from me, right? I was there for you last month. I was there for my home. I was there for my family. I was there for my community. All the demands that was placed on me. I'm tired and I'm going in my cave. And that's a good thing. That's a good place to go this month. So all of us are going to feel this need to kind of spend a little bit more time by ourselves. So don't confuse that with, oh, there's trouble in my relationship. I don't want to be with you. Every one of us is feeling like we need time out. We need time alone. We need time to connect to nature, to ground, to plug in, and it's really a month where we're going to stop and ask ourselves the big questions. Like last month was all about responsibility. This month is, how do I get where I want to go? What do I want? There's been a lot of talk in my sort of circles about, manifestation and such. And because we're going to be moving into an 8 universal month next month, this is the month you got to think about, what do you want to manifest? If you're not clear on it, if you don't have a real clear idea as to where you're going to go, then, you're not going to be able to manifest it too easily. So getting the vision, but you have to pause. You have to give yourself permission to kind of step back and figure out what it is you want, right? So this is a great month to pull out the oracle cards, dust them off, pull out your oracle cards, take a look at them, play with them, connect to spirit. The one thing I'm going to caution you with the 7 energy is it's a very heady energy. I call it the head case month, right? Because the 7 says I'm making my decisions from here. The last time I checked, any decision that was ever made from your head is probably not one you can hang your hat on, because the 7 causes us to have a lot of self-doubt and question our decisions, and we spiral around the drain a little bit confused. So it's not going to be a really good month to make big decisions. You're not really meant to move forward in a 7 personal month or a 7 personal year or a 7 universal month. You're meant to kind of sit, pause, take a breath, meditate, pray, spend some time connected to water. Water is really helpful for this. If you can get near the water, that'd be great. But it's a time when spirit is really talking to you, but you have to sit back and pause and listen. And Susan's got some fantastic meditations on her YouTube channel that are very specific to whatever it is you're trying to get to. If you want to get to a place of peace and calm, if you want to go to sleep, if you want to energize yourself, you want to create abundance, whatever you want to create and manifest, she's definitely got a meditation for that. So you might want to check that out. But it is about spiritual reflection. It is about what's my next move. If you're considering what you're going to do in a relationship, am I going to end it? Am I going to nurture it? What am I going to do in it? How can I enter into that relationship a little bit differently? How can I maybe make a better improvement? What needs to happen? Let's take a look at that. Now, remembering that all of us are under the influence of this number 7. So all of us are going to feel a need to step back. So again, don't confuse that with, oh my God, my relationship's over, everything's collapsing. It doesn't have to be that, because everybody is simply in quiet reflection, figuring out what's their next move, right? Now, given that we are in 2022, that being a 6 universal year, a lot of what you're going to be thinking about is your home and your family, right? And your responsibility to them. But one of the things that I want you to consider thinking about this month is, how do I establish balance? Where am I going to get the balance? Where am I lacking balance? Have I invested too much time and energy into my work, thereby neglecting my family? So it's a time when you really need to reflect upon how much energy you are expending in both spaces and trying to establish that balance so everything wins, right? But it is a month where you might feel a little bit confused, a little bit resentful if the family is asking demands on you. Maybe not quite so much as what September was, but it's still there. Now, in October, we have entered into what we call the shadow season. And I do have a video on YouTube called what is the shadow season. So quickly, what the shadow season is all about is that in January, we get a full cup of whatever our year is. So in this particular case, we're talking universal years. And you can talk personal years as well, but you get a full cup of whatever that is in January. Okay. So for every month that goes by, you're going to get a little blast of whatever your influence is. So we're talking universal year right now of 6. So every person on the planet, regardless of where you are in your personal year, you're getting a little shove from the universe in the direction of the energy, which in this case is the 6, which relates to the home and the family. So by the time you get to October, that energy is almost gone. And what's happening is the next universal year, that vibration is starting to come over that threshold, and we're all starting to get our feet wet. So we're all shifting into the vibration of the 7 universal year. Every one of us, regardless of where we are personally, we're all feeling this. So this, again, is spiritual reflection. This is about you. This is about you hitting that time out and giving yourself permission to be able to take some time out by yourself, and honoring everybody else needs to do the same. Okay. So that's what we call the shoulder season. From October to December, we have a little bit of a mix of the 6 universal year, okay, which has been ours for 2022. And we've got about 3 months, October to December, October, November, December. Yes, 3. We have 3 months there where we're going to be sharing that vibration. When we get into January of 2023, now we're right into the 7, but we're going to be bringing with us 3 months of the 6. Okay. So there's a period there, about a 6-month period there, where you have a blend of both energies. Okay. So when your universal year and your personal year really kick into play is around April. So if you're feeling a little confused, if you're feeling a little directionless or whatever, check out some of my videos, because there's a lot of explanations there. Maybe I'll put some links down below to lead you in the right direction. Of course, you can always book a reading and we can talk about what the heck's going on in your chart. I'm always happy to do that. But for now, just know that it's totally natural if you want to be alone. It's absolutely okay. Give yourself that permission. I know that in Canada, anyways, we've got Thanksgiving and a few other things coming up. In the United States, Thanksgiving's coming up in November. So we're already figuring out how to negotiate our family dynamics and such. But it's okay if you don't want to hang out with your family this month. I'm giving you permission. What do you have to say, Susan? What's going on astrologically? And
Well, yeah, I mean, it's amazing because I resonate with that completely. And right now we're still have 6 planets in retrograde. So that's a
great.
lot. Yeah, so that's a lot. And it's probably felt it for everyone. And mostly it's going to go through the end of the year as well. So like Mercury retrograde is almost done. So that's October 2nd, but give it a week or two because it goes into that post shadow phase. But, if you think of what the retrogrades are doing, is it's really making us go a standstill. So it fits very well with October, because it's going to be a time of self-reflection, really like taking yourself away from your tribe and your family and what you know as your identity being with the other parts of you and your family and group, and just really focusing on you and who you are. So you're really going to be tapping into, your personal growth, where you can restructure your life. And you may experience, though, with some of the retrogrades that are going on, some unexpected events. So it's asking you, have you been adaptable? Have you learned how to be flexible this year? Because I think that's been a big thing we've all been dealing with too, is life events have happened, especially with family and trying to find that balance with work and so forth, that have had unexpected events. And so hopefully you've learned change and flexibility. It's a good thing. It is a time of reflection where you can make any necessary revisions with your dreams and goals. So that's going to be important. And you might even feel challenged with some self-destructive behaviors that come up to the surface, along with any toxic negative patterns that you need to address. So it's almost as if you're in this phase for October, where you get to really sit by yourself. Think of it like Anne said, you're going into this cave and you get to really sit and reflect on your life and how you want it to go forward. And what pieces do you want to take with you? What pieces do you know you need to leave behind? And what can you do within yourself to create a more balanced outcome, more balance and harmony? I mean, we're going into Libra season, so it's all about, finding that balance and the harmony, partnerships. And then we go into the full moon, which is going to be October 9th in Aries.
Yay, Aries!
Yay, Aries! So, it's a fire sign, very confident and courageous, can be impulsive, but it also can push you to go after what you want and get positive results. So the full moon being in Aries, and we're in Libra season, it's kind of that polarity. So Aries is about the self, but Libra's about compromise and partnerships. So again, it's going to be, and I keep hearing the word boundaries. Like, I feel like there's a lot of that we're learning right now too, is to understand when we are taking care of ourselves. Because I feel like this year has been not just taking care of family and everything else in your work, but yourself has been huge. And how, because all of it, it's like a spoke of wheels, and they all connect to you always in the end. It's how you're taking care of you and filling your cup up first, then you can help others, right? But this full moon, it's very, has a lot of great potential to it because of that push and desire to move forward and take care of you. But because it's the polarity with Libra, you're going to feel that, okay, where can I compromise? Where am I overindulging in my self needs? And where am I not taking care of my self needs and overindulging in helping everyone else? So it's going to be important to find that balance. You may feel some conflict with even your independence that you're wanting to really take advantage of. So even though we know it's a time where we're meant to go inside and really reflect on ourselves, we can... You might be challenged with times with family and career and whatever, trying to pull you back in. So it's going to be really important to say, wait a minute, what did I just say to myself? What boundaries am I setting? Where am I needing to hold my ground and not, let everything go that you've worked on this whole year? The new moon at the end of the month is October 25th, and that's in Scorpio. So that'll just be pushing us to go from the Aries drive and that courageous, fire sign of go, go, go and take action, into, okay, wait a minute, now I need to feel how this all feels for me. So it's going to shift midway, and as it gets a week or two before the new moon. So mid-October, you might be feeling that sense of shifting happening, where you're recognizing how much you're overthinking in your head and coming down, like Anne had mentioned, how important it is to make these decisions with your heart and how you're feeling. You're going to probably feel some emotional charges coming up, and realizing what relationships are working for you, what relationships aren't, and what you're willing to compromise with, what you're not. And again, it's going to come down to what's best for you, because if it's for your highest good, then it's going to be for everyone else's highest good.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Cool. You
Yeah.
picking cards for us?
I did. I had picked, this one says practice, and it's a unicorn. And it says the best way to be good at a skill is to practice until you get it right. Now it's interesting. It looks like this. Here we go.
Mhm.
But when we think of practice, a lot of people might instantly go to career or work and a skill, right? But think about how much we need to practice taking care of ourselves, because we get so caught up in working with other people or working with our job. And it's like, but what about the skill of our taking care of ourselves? A lot of people, at least a lot of people I am familiar with and know, tend to be ones who are constantly giving out that energy and helping. And it's a time to really reflect on where you can take care of you and do that. So practice. At least that's what I've got from this card is practice taking care of you.
It could be spiritual practice too, making sure that you're developing a spiritual practice.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Did you have any cards that you pulled?
No, I did not pull a card, but I'm going to. I think that's a great
There you go.
suggestion. Yeah. I
Let's see what we have.
Yeah, let's do it. So I like to go to my Soul's Journey lesson cards that are created by James von Prague. I always give James a little bit of a nudge there because awesome deck. I love this deck.
Yes.
It's because it's so easy to work with. I love this deck. It's easy to work with, and I basically just say, what do we need to learn, right? So collectively, we're going to ask collectively in the month of October, what is it that we really all, as a global community, what is it that we need to learn? It's just how interesting. Perfect card, Indecision. I use my intuition in all aspects of life. Couldn't be a more direct card than that, because as I said earlier, the 7, which is the vibration we're going into for October, that 7 is asking you to get out of your head. Stop using the word think. Stop saying I think this, I think that, because what you're doing every time you say I think is you're knocking on the door of your ego going, what do you think? Which should we think, right? And the ego's like, oh, cannot wait to mess you up. I cannot wait to get you totally confused. I can't wait to see you directionless, right? And so the better thing to do, of course, is to say I feel and tap into what it is you feel, right? If anybody asks you, what do you think we should do today? Don't respond, I think we should do this. We're going to respond, I feel we need to do this, or we should do this. So basically this card talking about indecision is asking us to get out of our heads, stop being so connected to the head energy that's designed to keep you confused, and get into the heart. Let me just see what James has to say about this too.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting, and because Libra is very indecisive. So
Yeah,
that
right.
fits perfect with October, and it's also an air sign. So you're going to expect that you're going to be stuck in your head a lot. It's going to be important to pay attention to exactly what you said.
Especially those of us who are in a 7 personal year, going into a 7 universal month.
Yes. It's going to,
Anyway,
you might even leave post-it notes here and there that said, how do you feel? How do you
yeah,
feel? Just a
that's a good
reminder
idea.
of,
Yeah,
how I'm feeling, because a lot of us will go to, well, I think we should do this. Okay, well, how do we feel about it? And it's a whole different ballgame,
oh, I could go on and on about that.
right?
So often we make decisions based on what we think is the right thing to do. We're appeasing other people. We're making decisions that are the popular decision, because at the end of the day, every single person on the planet has a fear of abandonment. So we tend to lean towards making the popular choice so that we don't risk being abandoned, right?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
James says, your soul is spirit manifest in this physical dimension. Even though you may feel limited by the constraints of your body, your connection to the infinite wisdom of the universe is always available to you in the form of intuition. You're never alone when making any decisions. Spirit only wants the best for you. By listening to your inner voice, you will always be guided to the proper outcome. All you have to do is ask. And don't we always have to remind ourselves to ask? The expectations of others is only an illusion. I love this line, it's the best line ever written in a book. It says, you were not born to listen to fear. You were taught to listen to it. Visualize any decision in your life as a fork in the road. How does your body react when you imagine your travels down each path? At first glance, one may look easier to traverse, but the destination will cause anxiety and a heavy heart. Another path may be more difficult to walk, but the destination will feel light and calm. When you take the time to silence your mind and listen to your intuition, the signposts will always be obvious. Excellent card. I love
I
that.
love that.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
that's so fitting for this month coming up.
It really is. It really
Yeah.
is. And we do need some alone time. There's no doubt about it. I feel like September has been pulled in many directions. Just another reminder of what we've gone through in this universal year as a six and what we will continue to go through to the end of the year. But I feel the shift starting to take place too. Like you said, we're starting to feel that seven coming in and we're going into a seven. You're really going to feel this because you got all seven.
Amy.
Yeah.
I also, an observation I made this morning as I was thinking, I live in Nova Scotia and the weatherman is not being our friend right now, talking about Fiona. By the time this gets out there, I guess Fiona will have already come and gone, but I'm a little bit concerned about it. I can't lie. I know Puerto Rico has been slammed. I know the Turks and Caicos have been slammed. There's a lot of places that have been really, really brutalized. And um, it's coming really hard and fast on us, and we expect in the next 2 days we'll see the wrath of her fury. But a little bit of a concern I have with that is that 2022 is that sixth vibration, which is about showing responsibility to your home, to your family, and that does include your community. And the fact that 2022 is made up of 3 number 2s, that's our need to connect with people. So I'm just encouraging you, if you are in the path of the hurricane or if you've gone through it or whatever, make sure you extend a phone call, an email, a text, anything. Reach out to your neighbors, especially the seniors, because they're, a lot of them are on their own. So take some time. That's what we're meant to be doing this year. Take some time to reach out to those that might be at risk. So anyway, enough about that. I'm not going to throw any more fuel at that fire. Anyway, I want to mention I do have on September 27th, I've got Annette Dalu coming into the community, our Clarity Seekers community. She's going to be talking about how to supercharge your crystal grids with your affirmations. So that's going to be kind of fun. And I've got Dr. Gail coming back. Dr. Gail is the starseed healer. And she is going to be doing a talk for us on October 4th about are we having alien encounters and how do we know if we're having alien encounters? So if you haven't checked out the Clarity Seekers community, I'll put the link in here. Check it out. All the cool people are hanging out there now. So, you want to be one of the cool people, right? So what do you got coming up? Susan, anything?
I am just doing some one-on-one packages. I'm working on my courses that I have. I'm working on a program that's going to be on demand so that you can actually purchase them separately so that you can use them. It will have some of my coaching, but won't have the one-on-one. So it'll be for those who like to do it at their own pace. But also having my packages, I've extended some because I have people who want to go beyond just 3 sessions.
Yeah.
So I've created some things like that. But yeah, so just working on more courses. I have people wanting more different things to work with and some group stuff and memberships. I'm really putting a lot of things together that I'm hoping to get out by the end of the year. Yeah.
Excellent. So you can check out Susan at spiritsandbeyond.com. All right. Well, we look forward to seeing you in October. Well, this is our October broadcast, isn't it? Okay. So there I am in my head again. We like to see you in November. How's that? We're looking forward to coming with that. But reach out, comment if you will, ask any questions that you need to. We'll be glad to answer them for you. We look forward to seeing you next time. For now, I'm hoping that you are creating your best day ever. Bye for now. Thanks, Susan.
Thank you.